Good evening. Just wanted to try to show you the the full moon. The camera doesn't seem to be focusing very sharply. That's a light in the kitchen on the left, the moon in the top, and the street light on the right. Hi, Chloe and JB. Thanks for being here. Let me get my glasses on here. Christiana was here. Hi, Christiana. If you're still here, welcome. Ginger, thank you so much for being here tonight. Ginger's working alone tonight. Alyssa's on vacation. Hi, Kim. Thanks for joining us. Good night, Christiana. Oh, you're still there. Hi, Christiana. Thanks so much for saying hello. And get some sleep. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's a very nice night here. Clear, 60, I can't remember, I think it's 64 degrees. A little cool. No wind. And very few moths. But no midges. It is very nice, Ginger. There have been lots of broadwing bush katydids calling. Probably hear some around us, although might be starting to get a little bit too cool. Okay, let's move in. I'm just taking a quick look around to see if there's anyone, excuse me, anyone new here. I don't see anything new. This is a clover looper that we see quite often. Not sure what this micro moth is. If I can find it again. Not sure. This would be the rotund idia. That we see frequently. And the ugly nest caterpillar moth. Not sure what species this is. It's related to the herpetogrammus that we see. Who's this here? Common gluphisia, hiding here in the corner. And don't recognize this one at all. Pretty tiny moth. Not sure. Hear a warbler calling. This is a horned spanworm. And ichneumon wasp. This is by far the commonest ichneumon wasp. Oh my God. This is an underwing. It's not the species we saw the other night. I think this is, pretty sure this could be the bay underwing. I was mentioning the other night that starting around now, we get a group of moths called the underwings. They're all in the same genus, Catocala, and they all have, almost all of them have really beautiful underwing markings that you don't see when they're sitting, but when they're flapping their wings or in flight, you see the amazing colors. And they're like a highlight of late summer mothing. And we did see one a couple of nights ago. I wasn't able to name it at the time, but since then I've discovered that it's one of two species. There are two species. One is the hawthorn underwing, and the other one is the charming underwing. And apparently it's impossible to tell them apart by their appearance. The only way to definitely know what species they are is to dissect them, and I'm not about to do that. So here's a black zigzag. So the one we saw a couple of nights ago was either hawthorn underwing or charming underwing. And the one that we just saw a few moments ago, and I think he's still around, flapping around the sheet, I'm quite sure is the bay, B-A-Y, bay underwing. And actually the larval food plant for bay underwing is bayberry, which is a common plant along the coast here. Bayberry is also known as myrtleberry, waxberry is another common name for it. It's a berry that people used to use for making candles, for making wax. It's a gray berry. Oh, here it's back again. It's a very hard gray berry with a waxy coating, and you could just pick a few thousand berries and boil them, and you get a layer of wax that would rise to the top of the water you're boiling them in, and they could use that wax for making candles. Not sure where the underwing is now, but I don't think he's too far away. Not sure what this is. Could be something in the genus Retinia, Retinia. Ah, our bay underwing was back and spread out nicely on the sheet, but it flew right away. Yeah, I think that's it, Ginger. I think it's IA on the end. Retinia, Retinia. That's it. Oh, he's back again. He keeps landing and taking off. It's down here now. He's right here. It's on my jacket. Oh, somebody else on my jacket here, sigmoid prominent. Meanwhile, that underwing has been on the sheet 5 more times. And he's gone at the moment. He wants to land on this sheet. Oh, my light has gone off. Just give me a second here to check the wiring. Good evening, Mary. Nice to see you. All right, we're back in business with our light working again. Here's, there, the underwing was back again briefly. That's a lesser maple spanworm, overexposed. This is a micro moth we were looking at a few minutes ago. I have a feeling this is called the green aspen leaf roller. That seems to be popping into my brain, so tentatively we'll call it the green aspen leaf roller. That's it, Ginger. Perfect. Our horned spanworm again. Getting a little bit worn. Flame-shouldered dart. It's a powdered bigwing. Some kind of a leaf roller, but it's quite worn. Ugliness caterpillar moth again. It's another moth, I think, in the genus Retinia, perhaps the same one we saw earlier. See, it has quite long palps sticking out in front of the head. Yeah, it's pretty close to an equilateral triangle. Not sure that's the right term. That seemed to pop into my head. This is a new one for us. It's called the derelict eucosma moth. Derelict, D-E-R-E-L-I-C-T, derelict. Eucosma is E-U-C-O-S-M-A. Derelict eucosma moth. Perfect ginger. It's a late summer species, so it'll be common throughout August, probably. And up here is another sigmoid prominent, resting comfortably. Take a look from the other side. Yeah, very feathery antenna. Pretty hairy legs. An abdomen sticking out beyond the wingtips. It looks like cigar paper. So a couple of other similar species that we should see in the coming days. In the same genus. Somewhat the same pattern, but not the real big dark area on the back of the wings like this one has. This must be sweet fern geometer. Hi Ryan, I just realized I hadn't said hello to you. It's a really beautiful moth. This one's quite fresh. They feed on sweet fern, which is not a fern, it's a regular vascular plant that's common in, well, I always think of it as being common in boggy areas, but it actually grows in some sandy areas as well. It's very, very aromatic leaves. Makes a wonderful tea if you dry the leaves. Yeah, little black dots all the way around the outside. And a couple more rows inside the wings. Sweet fern geometer. Probably another one down here, I expect. Yep. This is common idea. I-D-A. Idea. I-D-E-A. Idea. I-D-E-A. I think is how it's spelled. Common idea. Or idia. That's it, Ginger. Vintage. Is that a vintage pattern? This looks like a couple of bats across the back. Like a sweater. Sweater or a vest? There's a plume moth down here. Not much in the way of wings on plume moths when they're perched. Hind legs are always spiky. Long, thin abdomen. I think we have about 25 species of plume moths in New Brunswick. Many of them can be identified to species. Probably this one could be. I just don't recall off the top of my head. There's a caddisfly up here. Just quickly check the shingles over here. I don't see anything at all. Nothing on the side. I hear a warbler going over. Very thin, high-pitched call. Okay, what do we got here? Some kind of a geometer. I don't recognize it right off. Very dark geometer. Gonna have to look this one up. Doesn't ring any bells at all. I have a funny feeling it could be a new species for me. I'll check that one out. Like no, there are no leafhoppers tonight at all. Just a few midges. No beetles. Here's a spittle bug. Meadow, excuse me, meadow spittle bug. This is a red twin spot. A darker form of red twin spot. Usually they have a reddish band across the center of the wings instead of a dark brown band like this one does. Red twin spot. Over here on the shingles, there's a bristly cutworm. Some nice green in the wings. Bristly cutworm. The big apple just fell on the apple tree beside us. I don't know if you heard that or not. Did you hear it thump on the ground? Yeah. This is called bent line gray. We have seen this before, but it's been a while. Bent line. I think it's like bent line gray moth, bent line gray moth. That's it. Yeah, I've got they're quite large apple trees on either side of me. I don't know if you can see this one up here. And a much bigger one over here, the August apple tree, back in the dark there. I'm just starting to drop some of their apples now. There's this dark geometer again. Looking forward to looking that up. So final look over here. It's sharp angled carpet moth. Flame-shouldered dart again. Powdered bigwing. Somebody hiding on the side. Somebody on the lamp here. This is chocolate prominent. Camera having trouble focusing on it. Chocolate prominent. And who are you? Another geometer I can't name, but it looks like a familiar pattern. One furry antenna. Oh no, the second one is there. It's just kind of blowing around in the breeze a bit. Two antennae. Our sigmoid prominent, black zigzag, sweet fern geometer, another sweet fern geometer, another black zigzag. Nobody over here on the shingles. So I guess we'll have an early night. Maybe it's getting to be time to try a 10:30 start time. Although I was out here at 10 o'clock, actually I think it was about 5 after 10. There was there was nothing around. I turned the lights on around 9:30. Okay, I think we'll call it a night. Sorry the bay underwing didn't stick around for us, but I'm just realizing that I may have put tape over the microphone holes. So I'm wondering, have I been muffled tonight, all night? I'm just noticing that right now. Okay, Ginger, thanks. I was afraid you were going to tell me that you haven't been able to hear me, although you've been typing all the names correctly, so I'm sure you did. All right, I'll leave you with the moon. Shut the ring light off. Thank you so much for joining us. Sorry that there wasn't too much to look at tonight. Great job, Ginger. Thank you so much. Mary, thanks for being here. Have a great night. JB and Chloe, as always, thanks so much for your support. Appreciate it. Good night, Kim. Thanks for joining us, Kim. Appreciate it. Good night, Ryan. Well, it is a nice moon. Unfortunately, the iPad isn't doing a very good job of focusing on it, but anyway. We'll see you all tomorrow. Another fine day forecast for here. So we'll probably try another moth stream tomorrow night. Please hit the like button if you haven't already done so. We'll see you again soon. Good night. Bye-bye.